Terminator Police Station Aftermath. It's 1984 and a lone gunman commits the deadliest assault on a police precinct in history. 17 deaths and who knows how many severely injured. Witness reports state that the gunman shrugged off several bullets during the shootout. What is the police, state, and government response, and how is it reported by the press? What sort of firepower is issued for those taking part in the manhunt? I immediately take my case to the media that our police officers are hopelessly outgunned in today's violent world, having only 38 revolvers. At my lead, police departments across the country undergo a complete shift to more modern firearms, and soon every officer is equipped with real stopping power as 9mm semi-autos become the norm. Clearly just a perp high on PCP, nothing out of the ordinary. There appear to be very few sightings or photographs of the T-800 in exoskeleton form or the T-1000 transforming. Also this, how would they know the 800 is even a robot? They would probably assume it's some body armor and a few bad shots by the cops. In Terminator 2, this is almost exactly what happens, and they respond with SWAT and all sorts of shit as soon as they realize it's the same perp fucking everything up. What sort of firepower is issued to those taking part in the manhunt? Furthest they would go is probably 40mm grenade launchers. Otherwise, their best bet would be requisitioning some armored vehicles to fuck up the T-800. This is 1984 after all. Police were still anemic as fuck at this time. They probably have no earthly fucking clue. I think most of the people who got up close and got a good look and see at the phone book killer ignoring their bullets are also those who are very promptly killed in response. Before passing, a lot probably thought, wait, is he even a human being? Was that metal I heard and saw? But he's wearing just clothes. Clang. What the fuck do you mean, clang? Many survivors probably second-guess themselves on whether or not they even hit. And some are not reliable witnesses due to being badly injured and maybe drifting out of consciousness. Some kind of body armor is one assumption, but he does get visibly shot in the head and neck, I think, which is harder to rationalize. Realistically, I think that you would need to either focus fire with an M2HB to reliably try and break down the T-800, but he's not going to stand still for that. Or you would need something that penetrates like the devil, and by that I mean something like the M72 Law, a shaped charge to truly blast his skeleton apart. I think also about that one cop in the squad car after the Tech Noir shooting. He got his ass beat, but he probably lived. Do you think he could recall that encounter? And then add that up with the later police station massacre? Maybe that was his precinct and he had the fortune of going to the ER for a gash on his head instead of being killed with his comrades. Many years later, he turns up again, and it feels like the cops aren't freaking out quite enough, given the sheer boogeyman reputation he must have had with the LA cops. All of that lines up to an easy rationalization. The phone book killer is a spree killer wearing some kind of homemade metallic armor under his clothes. His ability to shrug off hits can be attributed to drugs, and his sudden disappearance indicates he later died from his wounds. Maybe, but he'd have to be real skinny to hide something like that underneath his clothes. Yet he looks natural, and he does visibly bleed and tear when injured. Tech Noir bouncer. He went in without paying. I tried to stop him, but he crushed my hand. Moments later, he pulled out a machine gun and started shooting. Were any pieces of artificial bioskin recovered and analyzed? Even in the 80s, the tech wasn't quite there yet for any conclusive analysis. At most, they would get the genetic markers for most future living tissue T-800 models. But with only one, it would probably look and be detected as perfectly normal human dermis tissue sample. The best part about Terminator is theorizing how the world would react after the second attack. There would undoubtedly be a mass investigation, and I feel it would be quickly found out that Arnold isn't a normal person at all, especially considering there would be little to no muscle tissue in any recovered samples of his flesh. What would happen after that, personally, I think a new Cold War would erupt over who can make the first Terminator. Would be a better concept for a Salvation-like prequel than all that bullshit we've gotten so far.
Lordy, how long